coming to this stage right now. Let's make a lot of noise and get ready with your dumbest questions for Dr. Laird!
So how many of you have heard me do this before by round of applause? Thank you. Okay, good. So you have had weeks to prepare for your questions, because the bit is ask Dr. Laird your stupid astronomy questions. You've had plenty of time to prepare, and now it's your turn to ask me questions. Anything in the universe is legal and available, at this stage. So tell me what you need to know. I'll tell you what I know.
What's your favorite planet?
Not Earth, besides Earth.
Favorite planet. My business card has Saturn on it, but it's not just Saturn, because the picture of Saturn that was taken on my business card is in fact a picture of Saturn taken from behind Saturn, and the sun is on the other side of Saturn, and there's a teeny itty bitty dot right about there in which all of you are waving, if you got the notice, because when they took the picture, they said everybody on Earth waved, and some did and some didn't, but it's hard to tell who did and who didn't. So Saturn, that's my favorite. Okay, good. Thank you for the question.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are the astrology charts accurate?
They are completely accurate. They're also useless. But actually, they're not accurate. It turns out that the astrology was invented by the Babylonians. And it turns out that the Earth precesses on its axis every 23,000 years.
Yes.
Right. And so right now we're about one sign off.
Yes.
Right. That's right.
Recessive equinox.
That's right.
Yes.
Thank you. So I got it right?
Yes.
I got it right.
Awesome.
Okay,
All
I
right.
passed.
I have a question over
You have
here.
a question?
Shout it
over
out,
there.
shout it out.
Please.
Okay, I'm trying to settle a bet with my friend Noah, and I don't know if this counts as astronomy, but
Whatever you said is gonna count.
I heard a theory that the pyramids were power generators.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Is that-
absolutely.
Is that real?
Oh, absolutely. My son was there with a group of people who were just as idiotic as you, and he did a piece in the New York Times, and you can look it up. His name is Ethan Todris Whitehill, and you can look it up, and he makes fun of them. He traveled with those people, so yeah, it's absolutely true.
I
No
got a
problem.
question.
Yes.
Like the ring around Saturn, is that like should edited in on photos to like make people interested? Like if you just like looked at it through a telescope, could you see the ring or not see the ring?
Oh, okay, so if you look at Saturn through a telescope, would you see the ring? Well, I happen to have on personal authority, because somebody once gave me a telescope, and I set it in my living room, and there was a dot, in the sky, and I thought, let's see what that is. So I pointed the telescope at, the dot in the sky. It was yellow, so you can think that maybe it was going to be Saturn. And then I looked at it, and then it was Saturn. And I was like, the rings, And I went, oh, wow.
In my defense,
They have
they have
rings.
color in the
They have Saturn in New York City. I couldn't believe it. In New York City, we had Saturn. So yeah, rings are there, not Photoshop. That was a
How many
weird
moons
question.
in Jupiter?
Jupiter has something like 60 moons.
95.
Something. Listen, when it comes to numbers, you can make them up as well as I can. Okay? So, but in truth, I think you're right. I think Saturn has 60 or so. But Jupiter has more, I think, or vice versa, whatever.
I have
You-
one.
Yeah.
Go, Ethan, go.
Real quick. Why did after a certain point, why did we stop naming planets and other astronomical after Greek gods and Roman gods?
Well, Eris was named, it was the next thing named, okay, and I think Eris is a Greek god, but at some point, what you do is you decide upon a pattern, and then you make use of that pattern for the next grouping of things. I think I'm not an expert on this thing at all, so I'm just going with what I'm making up right now. That's all I got.
We got a question over here. I got a question.
Yes.
Why is it that I heard that like all the planets and the moons all kind of rotate around the sun in the same plane?
Most of the planets and the moons rotate around the sun in the same plane, except for the ones that don't. They're called retrograde.
So why does that happen?
Okay, so when the planets and the moons and everything was doing its thing, they were all going around the same way. Okay, and those were as a result of angular momentum being shared between the various things, and they all said, I'll have a little bit of your angular momentum, I'll have a little bit of yours, and so everybody shared their angular momentum. But there were some latecomers to the party, and the latecomers could no longer get anybody else's angular momentum, and they were captured. And they were captured randomly by Jupiter and Saturn. So each of those have quite a number of stray moons going in the wrong direction, but they're usually out, further out. The ones in close are always behaving themselves. The ones out far can do anything they want. Thank you.
Doctor, is it true the center of the galaxy smells like raspberries in Rome?
Actually, I was asked that question previously, and I got it wrong. So the answer to your question is, does the center of gravity smell like raspberries? The answer, galaxy, yes, sorry. Yes, the answer is yes. Because, in the universe, the galaxy is filled with gases, and the gases form molecules, and the molecules end up being fairly complicated. So they call them polyaromatic hydrocarbons, some of which smell like raspberries. So it's true. At least I think it's true.
Well, Doctor, you said poly. Are they in a long-term relationship, or what's going on here?
No, we're just talking about molecules, not people.
Okay, sorry.
What's the most accurate movie about space that you've seen?
What's the most accurate? Oh, Martian, the Martian. The Martian, for sure. Absolutely, I love it.
Excuse me, Doctor, have you seen Alien?
I've seen Alien, but there are none so far. So it doesn't work out. Okay, so
Are you creating an AI of yourself?
I actually am going to create an AI of myself. It's part of my near-death plan. And it's worked out so far because I'm on Clubhouse, and I left a note for somebody on Clubhouse, and they read it back to you, and it's in my voice. And I never said that. So they know my voice on Clubhouse, and they can imitate it. So I'm ready. The stuff is ready to go. Thank you very much. I'll be here eventually again. Thank you.
Dr. Laird. You know what? I gotta say, I think we're getting better at Dr. Laird's act. Great job on all those question askers. And can we get one more round of applause for Dr. Laird? Patient, wonderful, hysterical. What a great act. Isn't that so fun? Isn't that so good? He's also, if the room is ever silent, he's also got a list of topics for us as well. It's great. I love that act so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Laird.